Welcome to the last segment of the show today. And a few weeks ago, Kevin, you were on here and you mentioned, was it Georgia we were talking about, or somebody's players got in trouble, and maybe it was Alabama and Auburn we were talking about. One team's players get in trouble, and a week later, we were talking a couple of weeks after that about Clemson. And a couple of their players got in trouble, and the very next week, Georgia got in trouble.
Yeah, so I guess they're going to even each other out before they play.
There must be some kind of pattern to this or something.
Well, they're running together.
Well, like Steve Spurrier always said, that Georgia, at the end of the year, he always has one of the best teams in the nation because they've got all their suspended players back.
Amen to that, Steve.
What do y'all think about the Texas A&M and Texas thing going back and forth right now about, they're trying to – all the boosters and the fans are wanting them to play each other again, but neither athletic director wants to play. And
if I was Texas A&M, I'd jump on Texas right now.
I would
too. Texas A&M's the number one team in Texas right now. Texas is number 3. I mean, Texas is dropping. You catch them while they're weak. Jump on them.
Well, Texas's excuse for not playing was that they're trying to go international now. They're going to play a basketball game against Washington in China, and they're trying to get some football games, maybe in Mexico City or somewhere outside the United States.
They just don't want to play.
They don't want to play.
Has Dennis Rodman got a connection with that?
Maybe, I don't know. He may be one of the boosters down there now. I don't know. But I think it's Texas doesn't want to play Texas A&M.
No, they don't.
That would be bad for them if they lost that game.
Right off the bat, yeah. I mean, Charlie Strong's first year. Charlie Strong needs to stay away from playing Texas A&M for about 3 years.
What's going to happen, and the way the conference bowl tie set up, there's going to be a situation come up within a couple of years. I predict that it'll end up putting Texas and Texas A&M
in a bowl game.
Maybe like the Cotton Bowl. Could you imagine if they played in the Cotton Bowl? That game would.
Didn't they? Are they discontinuing the Cotton Bowl? One of those bowls they're not playing anymore.
I thought they were still going to. Now this playoff thing is still confusing to me somewhat because. You're going to have the 4, but I've always understood they were still going to have like the regular Sugar Bowl, the Orange Bowl, and the Cotton Bowl, and I think some of the conference tie-ins would still take place.
Yeah, they will.
But that would be if somehow Texas manages.
Oh, I'd love to see that.
If Texas managed to go say 9-3, and Texas A&M went 10-2, and they put it because as far as a money making that'd be stupid not to pit them up against each other.
Oh, you're not kidding. It would be. It sure would be.
You'd
have everybody in Texas at that stadium.
they could name their price on those tickets.
You're not kidding.
Because you got all those oil tycoons out there in Texas that are going to come to the ball game, especially that game.
And if Texas turns it around in 2 years, if Charlie Strong's that good a coach, if they're the A&M may be the ones may want to be avoiding Texas.
I don't think Charlie Strong's going to turn it around.
I
think they're going downhill.
I'm giving Charlie 3 years.
Well, right now he's been out recruited. Charlie Strong has been out recruited by Texas A&M, Baylor, and Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
They're 4th right now in the state of Texas in not in the country. They're 4th in Texas in recruiting right now.
Yeah,
and
they've held that number 1 spot for years.
They're not far ahead of TCU.
I know it. I mean, everybody's coming up in Texas. But they're a long way ahead of Dennis Franchione. And aren't we fixing to speak about him, Kevin?
Yeah, what was it you were talking about with Kevin during the break?
Well, excuse me. I've got some friends of mine that worked in Birmingham with a certain radio personality whose name I'll not mention.
Okay. For
legal reasons. There was a story out there that when Dennis got the head coaching job at Alabama, there was an assistant coach that he brought some of his staff with him to Alabama. There was one assistant coach that came with him, but he left about 2 weeks after he got the job. And it turns out that speculation was that Coach Fran was being real friendly with this guy's wife.
Well, that makes sense because I'd heard that Dennis Franchione's wife wasn't happy down here, and I guess all that boils down to because Dennis's girlfriend was down here. And I wasn't happy with Dennis at all from the get-go.
I knew Dennis liked to run the option offense, but that's kind of taking it a different direction.
Backfill in motion.
Didn't who came right after Franchione? Was it
Mike
Price.
Price.
Mike Price? That's what I was thinking.
And,
Hey.
he's from Texas. He was from UTEMP, wasn't he?
UTEP, yeah.
No, he came from Washington State.
That's right.
Yeah,
he came. Then he went to UTEP.
Then he went to UTEP.
Yeah,
Said
that's
I'd even
right.
heard, and I don't know how accurate this is, but there was some speculation that once he got on campus, there was some boosters that didn't like his off the field activities. Because it was starting to become known that he was hanging out in the bars and he was just like a regular college student. I mean, you can get away with that at Washington State.
You can't do that down here.
Right.
No.
And rumor is that there was some boosters that had kind of not encouraged, I guess, when they got to that golf tournament that led to his firing.
Did they take him to the club?
I think they kind of made it his destiny to meet that stripper. I think that she was encouraged to turn the tide, so to speak.
Well, it worked.
And it wouldn't surprise me because I went to the spring game that year, and the red team beat the white team. It was something like 47-3.
I was there.
And he put all the first team on one side. I mean, the first team, offense and defense, was on one team, and you had the scrubs on the other. Mm-hmm. And to me, that wasn't a real competitive game.
No, it wasn't.
Because you're not going to get better that way.
You mix both of those up, and that's what makes it a competitive ball game. You get to see how each team is going to play in the pressure and against a good ball player.